It's June 18th, 1815, and 12 U.S. Army Rangers just woke up on a Belgian field they don't recognize. No briefing, no intel, no explanation for how they got here. They've got their full combat load: M4 carbines, night vision, body armor, radios that can't reach command but still work squad to squad, and about 72 hours of ammo and rations. The sun's barely up, and already they can hear something massive happening a few miles south. Drums, thousands of them. Then cannon fire that rattles the ground beneath their boots. One of the Rangers climbs a low ridge and pulls out his optics. What he sees doesn't make sense. Over 140,000 men in formation, bright uniforms, cavalry columns, artillery batteries lined up wheel to wheel, smoke rolling across open fields. And in the center, command flags he recognizes from history books. The French Imperial Eagle. They're at Waterloo, the actual Battle of Waterloo. And they've got about 10 minutes to figure out what side they're on before someone starts shooting at them. So here's the question. If a single modern Ranger squad drops into the middle of the biggest battle of the Napoleonic Wars, what really happens? Can 12 soldiers with 21st century weapons change the outcome of a fight that decided the future of Europe? Or do they just become 12 more casualties in a battle that killed over 47,000 men in a single day? Let's be clear about what we're comparing here. A Ranger squad in 2025 is one of the most lethal small units on Earth. 12 soldiers, but each one trained to operate independently, call in precision strikes, and fight at night when most armies go blind. Their primary weapon is the M4 carbine, 5.56mm, effective range around 500 meters, rate of fire up to 900 rounds per minute on full auto. Each Ranger carries about 210 rounds, plus fragmentation grenades, smoke, and the squad has an M240 machine gun that can punch through light cover at over 1,000 meters. They've got ANPVS-14 night vision monoculars that turn darkness into green daylight. Encrypted radios. They can't call for help, but the squad can still talk to each other within 200 meters. Body armor that can stop musket balls like they're paintballs. And training that emphasizes speed, adaptability, and violence of action. Now compare that to what they're facing. The armies at Waterloo are massive, but slow. Napoleon commands around 72,000 French troops. The Duke of Wellington has about 68,000 British, Dutch, and German soldiers. And Field Marshal Blücher is bringing another 50,000 Prussians from the east. But here's the thing. Almost all of them are armed with smoothbore muskets, the British Brown Bess musket. Effective range maybe 50 to 70 meters if you're lucky. Rate of fire, 2 to 3 rounds per minute for a well-trained soldier. No rifling, so accuracy is terrible. Soldiers fire in massive volleys because individual aimed shots don't work. A soldier at 100 meters might as well be throwing rocks. One modern M4 rifle equals roughly 40 Brown Bess muskets in firepower, and about 10 times the effective range. Put it this way, one Ranger could outshoot an entire Napoleonic company before they reloaded twice. One Ranger with night vision can see and shoot targets that Napoleonic soldiers can't even detect. The French have some of the best artillery in the world, but it takes minutes to reload and aim each shot. The Rangers can put accurate rifle fire on target every 2 seconds, but numbers matter. The Rangers have maybe 2,500 rounds total for the entire squad. Waterloo will see over 100,000 soldiers firing millions of musket balls over the course of one day. The Rangers can't reload, they can't call for resupply, and if they get hit, there's no medevac, no air support, no quick reaction force. They're 12 guys in the middle of the largest land battle Europe has seen in years. So if the Rangers want to survive, let alone change anything, they need to pick their moments carefully. And that starts with figuring out where the battle is about to break. The Rangers move fast. They stay low, use the terrain, and avoid the main roads where columns of troops are marching into position. Through his optics, the team leader spots Wellington's ridge south of a small village called Mont Saint-Jean, and the French forming up beyond. He makes the call. They're not here to win the battle, they're here to survive it, and maybe tip the scales if they get the chance. The plan is simple. Stay on the eastern edge of the British right flank, and avoid direct contact as long as possible. But Waterloo doesn't care about their plan. It's 11:30 a.m. when Napoleon's artillery opens up. 80 guns firing in sequence, trying to soften Wellington's line before the infantry moves in. The noise is unbelievable. Cannonballs scream overhead, smashing into the ridge, tearing through formations. throwing dirt and bodies into the air. The Rangers go flat, press into a sunken road, and wait for the barrage to shift. Then the first French columns appear, thousands of infantry in tight formation, drums beating, moving uphill toward the British line. The Rangers watch from 200 meters away, hidden in a tree line on the eastern edge of the French advance. They're not the target, not yet, but a French skirmisher unit, about 60 soldiers spread out ahead of the main column, spots movement near the tree line. They don't know what they're looking at. Strange uniforms, strange gear, no flags, no drums. The French officer shouts orders. His men level their muskets and start moving forward. The Ranger squad leader has about 5 seconds to decide. Let them get close and risk a melee fight, or open fire and reveal their position to everyone on the battlefield. He gives the order. Engage! The word goes out over the squad net. No shouting, no hand signals, just quiet voices and earpieces. The first shots crack through the trees. No smoke, no flash, just sound and death. 3 skirmishers drop before the echo fades. The rest freeze, confused, looking for the source. They can't see muzzle flashes. They can't see where the fire is coming from. All they know is their men are falling. One Ranger with the M240 machine gun opens up. Controlled bursts, sweeping left to right, chest height. Half the unit goes down in under 10 seconds. The survivors break and run back toward their main column, screaming about invisible demons in the woods. The French column commander sees his skirmishers retreating and assumes they hit a hidden British rifle company. He orders his men to form line and advance cautiously, flanking units spreading wide to envelop the tree line. About 300 infantry start moving forward, muskets ready. The Rangers don't wait. Displacing, the team leader's voice crackles in their headsets. 50 meters, go. They fade deeper into the woods, set up a new firing line, and wait. The French advance into the trees, moving slowly because the terrain is broken and visibility is terrible. The Rangers hit them from 3 sides. Overlapping fields of fire, controlled bursts, no wasted shots. The French formation collapses in seconds. Soldiers dive for cover, fire blindly into the trees, reload in a panic. But they can't see targets, they can't coordinate, and they can't retreat without turning their backs. In under 2 minutes, the French pull back, leaving over 40 dead and wounded in the woods. The Rangers take no casualties, not even close. But now everyone knows something's wrong on the British right flank. French officers are shouting, trying to make sense of what just happened. British commanders on the ridge are watching through telescopes, just as confused. And the Rangers realize they just made themselves the most dangerous unknown variable in the entire battle. For the next few hours, the Rangers stay mobile, coordinating through headsets, always one step ahead of whatever unit tries to pin them down. They watch French cavalry hurl themselves at British squares and shatter against bayonets. They see d'Erlon's corps march uphill and get torn apart by British volleys. They don't intervene, not yet. They're waiting for the moment that matters. French cavalry sweeps through the area twice, but the Rangers see them coming from half a mile away and fade into dead ground before the horsemen arrive. By mid-afternoon, they burn through about 800 rounds and taken out over 150 French soldiers without a single friendly casualty. But the real battle is happening on the ridge. Wellington's line is holding, barely. French infantry keeps hammering the British squares. Cavalry charges shatter against bayonets. Artillery pounds both sides into mud and blood. And the Rangers know they can't keep playing guerrilla games forever. If Wellington's line breaks, the French flood through, and none of this matters. Then, around 4 p.m., the battle shifts. The Prussians start arriving from the east. Blucher's lead units hit the French right flank, and suddenly, Napoleon has a 2-front fight. He pulls reserves to deal with the Prussians, but that leaves his center weak. Wellington sees the opening and orders his infantry to hold just a little longer. The Ranger squad leader sees it too. If Napoleon commits his reserve, the Imperial Guard, to break Wellington's center before the Prussians fully deploy, the French still win this. And right now, the Guard is forming up near a farmhouse called La Belle Alliance, about 1,000 meters south of Wellington's ridge. The Imperial Guard, Napoleon's elite, veterans of a dozen campaigns. They've never lost a battle. 8 battalions, around 4,000 men, the best infantry France has. If they punch through Wellington's line, it's over. The Rangers take up a firing line on a low rise east of La Belle Alliance, overlooking the Guard's assembly area from the flank. They've got about 1,200 rounds left, a few grenades, and no support. But they've got elevation, concealment, and weapons that can reach targets the Guard doesn't even know exist yet. At around 7:30 p.m., with daylight fading, the Guard starts its advance. Tight columns, drums beating, officers on horseback, moving uphill toward the British center. The plan is simple: smash through the weakest part of Wellington's line, roll up the flanks, and end the battle before dark. The Rangers let them get within 400 meters. Then they open fire. The first volley drops a dozen guardsmen. The formation doesn't even slow down. These are professional soldiers. They've been under fire before. But the second volley hits harder. Then the third. The M240 machine gun rakes the front ranks, punching through multiple men per burst. Grenades arc into the column and detonate in the packed formation, shredding everything within 5 meters. The Guard keeps moving, confused. The fire's coming from their left flank, a position they thought was clear, not from the British line ahead. Officers shout orders, trying to wheel the column toward the threat, but men are falling faster than they can regroup. The Rangers shift fire, targeting commanders first. Within 90 seconds, 3 senior officers go down, and then the British see what's happening. Wellington's infantry on the ridge watches the Guard's advance stall under fire from an unknown source. They don't know who's shooting, but they know an opportunity when they see one. British line infantry steps forward and delivers a massed volley into the Guard's front. Then another, then another. The Imperial Guard, for the first time in its history, stops advancing. The front ranks hesitate, then the rear ranks start edging backward, and when a British cavalry unit crashes into the exposed flank, the whole formation shatters. Men throw down their muskets and run. Not a retreat, a rout. The most elite unit in Napoleon's army turns and runs. The cry goes up across the battlefield. La Garde recule! The Guard retreats. And when the Guard runs, everyone else runs too. The French army collapses. Units that held their ground all day suddenly break and scatter. Artillery crews abandon their guns. Cavalry formations dissolve. Wellington orders a general advance, and the British line sweeps forward, pushing the French off the field entirely. By nightfall, it's over. The battle is won. But it didn't end the way history remembers. So, who wins? Wellington. The Prussians. The coalition. Same result as the original timeline. But the battle doesn't unfold the same way at all. In the real Battle of Waterloo, the Imperial Guard nearly broke through Wellington's center. The British held by sheer determination, and the Guard retreated only after heavy casualties, not panic. But with the Rangers on the field, that changes. The Guard doesn't just get stopped, it gets shattered. 12 modern soldiers with precision rifles, machine guns, and grenades hit Napoleon's best troops at the worst possible moment, from an angle they never expected. The psychological impact is massive. Elite soldiers don't break easily, but when they take fire from an invisible enemy that kills faster than they can process, doctrine falls apart. And once the Guard runs, the entire French army collapses faster than it did historically. Napoleon loses control of his reserves. The retreat turns into a bloodbath. The coalition pursuit is more aggressive because Wellington's forces aren't as exhausted. Casualties on the French side go even higher, maybe 50,000 dead and wounded instead of the original 41,000. The Rangers survive, all 12 of them. They burn through almost all 2,500 rounds, use every grenade, and never take a direct hit. After the battle, they disappear into the chaos, avoid contact with both armies, and try to figure out if there's any way back to 2025. There isn't. But here's the bigger question. Do they actually change history? Napoleon still loses. He still abdicates. The coalition still reshapes Europe at the Congress of Vienna. The major outcomes stay the same. What changes are the details. Fewer British casualties, a faster French collapse, and maybe, just maybe, a few strange reports in Wellington's after-action dispatches about unknown riflemen who appeared, fought like no unit he'd ever seen, and vanished before anyone could identify them. Modern firepower beats Napoleonic tactics every single time, but 12 soldiers can't conquer an empire. They can tip a single battle. They can cause chaos. They can kill way beyond their numbers, but they can't hold ground against 140,000 troops, and they can't survive a prolonged campaign with no resupply. The Rangers prove that technology matters, but in the end, Waterloo was always going to be decided by mass, endurance, and who could keep their army together the longest. The Rangers just made sure it ended faster. Or what do you think would happen? Could 12 modern soldiers have done more? If you want to see what happens when modern weapons face older tech in a different scenario, check out the video on your screen. Thanks for watching.